Welcome back to Heber Valley Life Podcast, where we celebrate the people, places, and stories that make our valley such a wonderful place to call home. I'm your host, Rachel Kahler with the Community Alliance for Main Street, and today we're talking about one of my favorite parts about living in this valley, and that's when community shows up for each other, especially during the holidays. From warm meals to winter coats, toys, and simple acts of kindness, our valley truly shines this time of year. And joining me today is Corbin Gordon, a familiar name to many of you. Corbin has been deeply involved in community projects for years. He has helped lead this season's community Thanksgiving dinner and several holiday drives and for bringing people together. So Corbin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here.
Yeah, so you have a concert that is coming up. You're kind of a closet musician.
Well, yeah. It's hard to keep, American Rooster in the closet, but it's yeah. No, but let me explain what we do and why we do it. So for the last probably 5 or 6 years, I've done what's called a gratitude concert every other year or so. And the idea is, I think from an LDS perspective, sometimes I think we get very limited in what we think of as actual worship. And, in our faith tradition, we go to church, we sit there, we have certain hymns that we sing. And the thought for me was, look, there's gifts that people have been given. And the idea is that we want to say thank you for the gifts that we've been given. So the gratitude concert, the concept is I will set 3 empty chairs at the front of the hall. And those are symbolic or representative, but we are inviting our heavenly parents, our Savior, to come and be a part of it. This is not a concert about, hey, look at me, look at how important I am. And this is a concert where I'm asking people to bring the very best that they have of the gifts that they've been given, and to use them to bless the lives of other people, but more to simply say, thank you. God, thank you for music. Thank you for poetry. Thank you for songs. Thank you for prayer. And so I always try to do it at the beginning of the Thanksgiving season. So this year it's going to be November 25th, that's Tuesday. It's over at the Midway City Hall. It's free. And I try to gather in as many people as I can. So this year, I'm excited. I'll have songs that I will be singing. JC Silence is going to be playing with me. My son will be playing with me. Derek Poland comes over. He's a poet, and he's participated for 2 or 3 years, and it's really fun to have him be able to come and use that. Rachel Kahler is going to be reading a psalm for me.
You're volunteering me.
Yeah, which can be fun. She'll do a great job on that. But I try to invite, if I can, different faith traditions. This year, we're coming up on it. I'm hoping that some years we have a full choir, and we do a broad range of things that made sometimes what you wouldn't necessarily consider from our faith tradition as worship. But it's like sometimes we'll do a full-blown rock and roll song. Sometimes, it's like we'll do gospel songs. We'll do things that you wouldn't see in church on Sunday, but it's like it's still worship. This year I ran into Matt Heinberger. Matt's going to come, and he's going to do a spoken word part. And the idea is that we gather together with a different spirit. It's like we're not here as performers to say, look at me. We're here to gather together and rejoice in the gifts that we've been given. There will be a time during the concert where we'll have some music playing, and we'll ask people to just sit and write down what it is that they're thankful for this year, and the journey that they've been on, and the things that aren't important to them. So that's why I do it, and it's really a beautiful night. It's a different night than what you would probably a normal concert.
So casual dress.
Casual dresses. Starts at 7 o'clock. It's free. You can bring, there's plenty of seating, and it'll last maybe an hour and a half, depending on the lineup that I've got. And so, and then it's a way to start the holiday season, hopefully in the right spirit of saying, I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And expressing that through the gifts that we've been given. Hopefully, for folks that sometimes they don't have a platform to do that, So that's what we do. Call it the Gratitude Concert. I'm excited to do it this year. And it's really, really fun. So I hope that if you're out there, I would love to have you come. If there's anyone that is, understands the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish here and has something that you feel like is something you would like to do in the concert, contact me. It's not it's like, look, I want the community to be a part of it. So if there's someone out there that does that, give me a call, and we may be able to get you on the schedule and give you an opportunity to come and give the very best that you've got. Say thanks to God for the gifts you've been given. So
I love it. So Tuesday, November 25th, 7 p.m. at Midway Town Hall.
Yeah, that is great.
I guess I'll see you there.
There you go. Yeah. You got to pick your favorite song.
Here we go. So I want to transition a little bit because not only are you putting together this gratitude concert, but you've been involved, Gordon Law Group, for many years in the Wasatch Community Foundation Thanksgiving Community Dinner.
Yeah.
And this year it's happening on Friday, November 22nd from 4 to 7 at Timpanogos Middle School. It's truly a community gathering.
It's really one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
And so the Community Foundation, they have their board meetings here. I've been on and off the board for years. This is an amazing thing. When you really, we were the third fastest growing county in the nation for portions of the last decade.
Yeah.
You look out and would consider that this community is probably the most wealthy, or one of the most wealthy in the world. And yet we have such significant need. And if you understand and hear what's going on from what the schools do from hunger, and that we in our own valley, in our little Heber Valley, have kids that are going home that are hungry. It's astonishing. It's astonishing. And so the idea behind the Thanksgiving dinner is that there are literally families in our valley, and it's becoming harder because the cost of living is going up, that will not have a Thanksgiving dinner. And so the Community Foundation provides a Thanksgiving dinner to them. It's completely free. I think it's still over at which one of the middle school? There's a Novus Middle School. They have artists come in and people playing music. I've played for that. And the culinary, you were telling me?
Yeah, so Wasatch High School, the ProStar Culinary Program prepares the meals. So these are Wasatch High School students that have been learning foods and nutrition, but this is actually the culinary program.
Yeah.
And they do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So they do have some volunteers that help out as well. But it's the students that are really driving the preparation and the serving of the meal.
It's amazing.
It's great. But I want to give a shout out to Tom and Marilyn Fowler, because they were really the ones that saw the need. They moved here from Chicago. And I remember having this conversation with Tom where he said, it's so interesting to me that we don't have a community Thanksgiving dinner. And we talked about where it could happen. And I'm so grateful for the school district for jumping on board early on, and the Community Foundation for really creating the funding mechanism that people can donate to, because it does cost a lot of money. They're serving 500 to 700 meals.
Yeah. And I do want to say, even though it's directed at the community. Even if you don't have a need, it's like, come and gather in Thanksgiving. So there's many people that come to it. It's not like it's just a gathering. If there's, you're not going to have a meal. So don't stay away because of that. It's something where you come together as a community, and it's just such a beautiful spirit when you walk in. And we're going to talk about the coach ride and some of the things that they're doing as well as part of that. But it really is a very beautiful thing to be a part of.
Yeah. So Friday, November 22nd, 4 to 7. Come as you are.
Friday, November 27th.
Yeah. At Timpanogos Middle School. But let's talk about the the coat drive, because the Heber Valley Rotary really is the manpower behind going out to the community and asking people to donate new or gently used. But it's not just coats anymore. It's coats, hats, gloves, boots of any size, both adult and children. And that was something that I was really enlightened when I went to the, the dinner a couple of years ago, because Diane Glenn had organized all of these coats, and within 20 or 30 minutes, they were gone.
Yes.
And so it really showed me that the need is so great. And so many families use this event as an opportunity to come in and keep their kids warm.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I mean, and when you're thinking about donating, it's like, look, I've gotten a little bigger over the years. And it's, it's like you go into your closet,
right,
and you realize that it's like, yeah, I still got jeans when I was, in high school. We've got clothes fitting there. And there's a lot of times where it's like the clothes, you're not using them. They don't fit anymore. You've got coats sitting around, and it's like, put those to use. Someone can use them. And rather than having an asset, literally, you don't think of clothing in our closet as an asset to our community, but it really is. And put that asset to work and allow other people to take advantage of it. Mm. It takes a few minutes, and you go, yeah, I haven't worn that coat years. I'm going to break it.
Wash it, make sure it's still in good shape, has no holes and such. I had the opportunity to talk to my daughter about this week. She's in high school, and the trends change. And I said, let's go through both our closets and let's find things that we still love, but we can do without.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was a fun conversation to have with the 16-year-old that is always looking at the next best thing. And yet I had that conversation. Let's give something that
actually hurts a little bit. Yeah. That it's like you're actually giving something that, it's like getting something you would like to receive. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah.
That was an interesting conversation. But again, we all have more than we need. And it's an opportunity to give somebody that doesn't. But there are many locations. I want to just read the list, because the Rotary has put these large boxes out across the community. So you can drop at Bank of Utah, Folklore Bookstore, Heber Valley Hospital, Keeper City offices, Midway City offices, Rocky Mountain Middle School, Timpanogos Middle School, Wasatch High School, Wasatch County Health Department, Zions Bank, here at Bladen Law. They're happy to take them. So really, if you have coats, hats, winter boots in all sizes, children through adults, there's an opportunity to just drop them throughout. And they're hoping to collect before November 14th so they can organize and have them ready for Friday, November 22nd.
Friday, November 22nd, so that they can.
So they have them all organized
for the dinner.
For the dinner. So right now, the Heber Rotary is trying to get word out so that people will drop before November 14th. I think if there's still people that forget, they're happy to bring them here, and you guys don't make sure it's taken care of it. But these donations are really in such need. And this community dinner is the perfect opportunity to both donate and then see your contributions directly helping the neighbors at the day. Yeah. Just really a full circle moment of generosity and gratitude.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. But I recently have been introduced to another program, and this one really opened my eyes. It's with the Park City Christian Center. It's called Operation Hope. And the Christian Center here in Heber has just recently expanded because there's a growing need in our community. And had the opportunity to speak with some of the representatives that said we saw a need that was coming with just jobs pulling back, government shutdown. They anticipate between 700 and 1,000 children needing coats, and for them, particularly at Christmas. And so what they're trying to do is collect toys, new toys for children, and coats and gifts for ages 0 to 18. And it just astounded me when they started sharing the need that they are currently serving in our community. And I had an opportunity just the other day to be in that parking lot, and there was a lineup for this program that filled the parking lot. It's humbling to see that kind of need. They also have an Amazon that you can go at 10 o'clock at night and click the Amazon list, and it'll ship directly to the Christian Center. So in this request, it's for new, because what they're trying to do is create Christmas morning with what this is.
Yeah. It's like, and so, and that makes complete sense, right? And you hear that number, 700 to 1,000 families. It feels overwhelming, but it's like in anything in the world. Okay, so do one, do something, do one, go in, help. It's like, look, plan on maybe buying for another family, or do something, and you've made your mark in the world and made somebody's life better and easier, at least during Christmas season. So that's awesome. And so
So if you're interested in the Amazon, because I do think there's an ease in that, go to the website CCOFPC, so Christian Center of Park City is the acronym, .org, and you can find that Amazon list, and it'll ship right to Christian Center. But I also want to talk about an exchange program that has been happening for 9 years, and this is just an amazing program. It's Heber Valley Clothing and Toy Exchange, and this year it's happening at the Rec Center. It has grown over the years to the point where now they need basically 2 gyms, because they are filling these gyms with donated items, with new items. So this year, the donation day is Friday, December 5th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the east side of the Rec Center. And then the exchange day, the day that you can come in and basically shop for free of all these things that are laid out, is Saturday, December 6th. Doors open at 10 a.m. and everything's free.
Wow.
And the concept behind this, it's fascinating, because several women saw the need in their neighborhood and started working with some local business owners and literally put a store together of things that they thought people would need. So this is not just clothing for toys. This exchange is clothing, shoes, toys, books, small household items. It's a great way to give away gently used items to give new life to help families in the holidays.
Yeah.
But it really is this open storefront of things that you can just go through and say, look, my daughter's a size 10. She needs a new coat or new shoes. And so it's an opportunity for us to give, and for those that are in need to choose what they want instead of just get handed a box.
Yeah.
They can go through, and it's just been amazing.
That's amazing. And do they, like, as far as donations goes, like, is it like furniture? Is it what I mean?
No, so that's the one or two.
So let's just clarify. So what do they really want?
They really want the clothes, shoes, toys, books, and small household items.
Okay.
So, and that's, I think, important to distinguish, because what's happening with the Thanksgiving dinner is really cold weather items: coats, hats, boots, even gloves. Gloves get a little tricky because it's hard to keep track of too.
Yes.
But they'll take anything for warm. In fact, they'll take layers. I noticed a couple years ago they had a whole section of 3/4 zips that Northland had donated.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and that blew my mind, because Northland has very expensive branded outdoor wear. They had donated an entire section. And you also saw items from Costco that it's $30 or $40, but to a family that could be a dinner.
Yeah.
And so being able to provide that for their children was really blessing. The exchange really is for the everyday items.
Okay, that's good to know.
But toys is always the goal. It's happening on December 6th because it's about helping those families provide Christmas.
And they're okay with used toys as well. Okay, so that's where it's like the Christian Center really is looking for new. Yeah, these ones are, you can bring, my daughter's now a sophomore, and suddenly the dolls just don't matter anymore. And so that's a place where those could go and get reused.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And lastly, I just think it's important that we just talk about food drives. Obviously, during the holidays, there's always food drives. And then after, there's this huge drop off. And it was interesting that day that I mentioned seeing the Food Christian Center have that lineup. They had bread that was out, fresh bread that some people had baked and donated. They need everything right now. They need canned goods. They need bread. They need rice, beans, you name it. They need it.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for us, again, to look at our pantries, but also instead of buying one thing at the grocery store, buy 3 and see if you can just drop them off. And then they always are accepting volunteers. So if you have an hour or two, Valeria will happily put you to work.
And how would that, so let's talk about that, because during this time frame, we've got a lot of young men and young women groups, the LDS faith, I'm sure other faiths have the same, they've got Wednesday night activities. They're looking for meaningful service.
Yeah.
Who do they contact? Give them the contact.
Yeah. Well, and Valeria at the Park City Christian Center here in Heber is happy to work with those groups, but there's better opportunities. Stacy Hartlett with the Ruiz will actually come if you have a group of youth that want to help. Stacy Ruiz actually has a program where you are packaging rice and beans.
Oh, okay.
And it's a much more organized, she comes to you. Where you've had a group of 30 or 40, that will overwhelm the Christian Center, and it's hard to keep those kids focused. Stacy will actually bring that activity to you and help the youth understand what they're doing. She's got a very systemed approach to it, and then they go and they donate that back to the food.
That's really cool. And how do we get close? Stacy.
So Rooney's.com. She has on her website, you can click, and she's got a whole little form to fill out, and then her and her husband will work with you to set that up. And we had an opportunity to do it a couple of years ago, and it's pretty impressive how she's got it organized. So with Rooney's Ice Cream, she understands the whole packaging, clean environment. She had gloves and hair nets for everyone.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's often, we don't know how to help, but there are people in the community that have done this long enough that they pretty much become the experts.
And that's, because, like youth groups, everyone wants to, the problem with services, it's really hard to find something that you really feel is meaningful sometimes. And so if there's opportunities to do something that actually is making someone's life better, that's what we want. So that's good to know. That's a great resource.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to go back to the coat drive. So just sitting here, my son, for his Eagle project, did a coat drive for refugees. And we filled 2 trailers and were able to deliver them to an area that refugees are received in Salt Lake. And it was in the middle of the winter. And so as they came through the receiving area, they had an opportunity to go through those coats. It's such a simple thing, and yet it's impactful.
Well, you think about that.
Yeah.
That the simplest things in our lives, warmth,
shoes,
the core of what every human being really wants is safety. And the safety of knowing you have a winter coat. Some of these refugees, I'm sure, coming from areas maybe they're not from winter, that they're like, this looks like a wasteland, honey. And having the simple comfort of going, I at least know I've got that. That is the most fundamental human need that we can. And we can't overlook the fact that it's like, that's how little tiny things can provide tremendous amount of comfort and safety to the people around us. So.
And I want to talk about culture for a minute, because I remember talking with Tom and Marilyn early on about Thanksgiving dinner, and almost thinking, this is an interesting concept where we're giving them the turkey, the mashed potatoes, and the pumpkin pie. And for some people, they thought, well, this is normally what I eat. But it's an opportunity to share cultures. And it's been interesting over the years that Thanksgiving dinner has it all. One year they had some empanadas. And it's a great opportunity for a culture exchange, not just a code exchange. And I think we need to do a better job in our community to sit down with someone that's not like us, ask them their name, because in most cases, they're a mom or a dad or a brother or sister. They have children in our schools. They're dealing with the same issues we are. Our kids doing their homework, are they spending too much time on their phones? And if we can bridge that gap through service and through giving and breaking bread together, I think it just unifies this community in a way that nothing else can. So these opportunities for us to this season, remember the reason for the season, and to give, but not just monetary items, our time.
Yeah. Our heart.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And actually, it's hard to have the courage to walk across the room and say, I'm going to sit down with someone that I don't know, and say hello and put myself out there. And it's easy to just hide behind whatever reason we have not to do it. And it's like a choice. You have to do it. You have to choose to do it.
Right. Great. So I want to go through a couple of dates just as we wrap up. So the coat drive donations are now until November 14th, all leading up to the community Thanksgiving dinner on Friday, November 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. You can get a great Thanksgiving dinner, sit down with your neighbors, meet new friends, and that's at Timpanogos Middle School. Operation Hope is a toy and coat drive with the Varsity Christian Center, and that's ongoing through Christmas. And you can find out more information at ccofpc.org. And then the Heber Valley Clothing and Toy Exchange, and that's on December 5th and 6th at the Wasatch County Rec Center. And then, of course, we have the Gratitude concert on November 25th. And as we wrap up, I want to talk about the Cottages for the Children gingerbread house event. So Kurt Hoffman is the director of the Wasatch Children's Justice Center. And the Cottages for the Children event has been a beloved event for, I would say, 25, 26, I think we're even 27 years in now. But it's a fundraiser for the Justice Center. And I love that the Utah Arts Collective have chosen the Justice Center to be the recipient of any money that they make from the Nutcracker Tea. And they've been a huge blessing as times have been turbulent and maybe they're not getting as many people out for the gingerbread houses. But I want to give a shout out to those artisans that are creating these amazing gingerbread houses. That's really cool. Ed Thacker, for years, the prisoners at the Wasatch Jail actually donate some beautiful gingerbread homes. They are tutored and mentored.
How cool is that?
And then they donate that back. But there's always a need for individuals and businesses to bid on these gingerbread houses and purchase these. And then all that money is donated to the Children's Justice Center. And this year, the Cottages for the Children, who in years past has been at Timpanogos Valley Theater, they actually have performances. And so they moved the Cottages for the Children event to coincide with the Heber Clothing and Toy Exchange. So December 5th and 6th, go to the rec center, donate something if you need something. But I hope people will take the time to go and see those gingerbread houses. Put a bid down. If you see one that doesn't have any, put a minimum bid and see if you win, but put a maximum bid. This money supports those kids that's on their very worst days are at the Justice Center. And Kurt has done a really good job of creating a safe space. And both Wasatch County Sheriff and Heber City Police use that facility to help families on really tough days when they've had encounters. It's really sad to realize that we have domestic abuse, we have child abuse, we have sexual molestations and things. And you're familiar with that on the other side of things.
So I deal with that.
But the Justice Center is such a treasure in our community that quietly goes about taking care of those most vulnerable at their worst days.
Yes.
So please take the time to go and visit Clothing and Toy Exchange December 5th and 6th and put a bid down for one of those gingerbread houses. So Corbin, as we wrap up, we've hit a lot of different events. I would love for you to just touch on what does gratitude mean for you?
it's interesting because this year, as I look back and I get ready for the gratitude concert, there's always things that I think about from my year. And this year, I've been thinking a lot about estrangement, being separated. I think that there are parts of probably everyone's life where we get estranged from ourselves. We get estranged from the people around us who we love the most, families who have problems, it's like kids that no longer talk to them. We get estranged from our community as we go through political, and we get estranged from God. There's things that are constantly battling, and it feels like the world right now, the real battle is that forces of darkness, forces that are trying very hard to isolate us, to make us feel like we're standing alone and that we don't have anything in common. And it's scary. And social media is not a safe place to be vulnerable or to reach out or to try to, bridge gaps. It's too easy not sitting in front of people. And as I thought about that, some of the songs that you'll hear in Gratitude Concert are songs about estrangement, songs about relationships that aren't where they should be, and opportunities for forgiveness, opportunities to come together. And I guess what I found in my own life is that it's hard not to connect when you're actually sitting with people. And as we talk about these community things, that it's like it's hard to connect with someone that you don't know. But as you go and you sit down with them and you gather together, right? That's why the gratitude concert is something that I love. It's like I want to gather with everybody I can in a spirit of saying thank you to God, right? And so as I guess the thing that I would say from a gratitude standpoint this year is that I am grateful for people in my life, people who stand by me, who love me, who know me, and who overlook my flaws, overlook, whatever. And it's in that connection, right, that we find the fullest manifestation of who we are and what we can become. And I've just never in my life been in a situation where I reached out or tried to do something good and felt bad about it. And so I guess if you were part of our community and you're out there and you feel estranged from yourself, from your heart, from God, from whatever, I invite you to come and gather with your community and find again that there are people who really do love and whose hearts are open. If you feel alone, come to a Thanksgiving dinner. Come and worship with me at a gratitude concert. Give someone a coat. Give some money. And remember what it feels like to be connected to people. Shut off your social media and actually go and talk to someone and express your love for them. As we go into this season, that is what I love about Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday because it is very simple in the fact that it is the simplest manifestation of what we ought to be, without any of the confusion or the gifts or anything like that. So those are my thoughts. I'm grateful for this community and what it's done for me and what it does for everybody else. And I guess my prayer this coming year is that all of us could reach out in a spirit of love and kindness, more than maybe what we're doing. Take the risk to actually care.
I love it. Thank you for joining me today and for everything you do to make this valley warmer and kinder. So Rachel Kahler with Community Alliance for Main Street, and often we thank you for this podcast and the opportunity to be in this building. So I just want to express my gratitude to you. We've known each other since third grade, and it has been a really fun journey, and I'm excited about the graduation concert.
Thank you.
So thanks again for Heber Valley Life Podcast, and join us next time.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.